Holocaust Memories Never Forget. A Gentile baby boomer's painful journey into the Shoah. Section 6. Brutalste Gewalt. Brutal Violence. Part 13. From the 1st of January 1943 until the end of the war, May 1945. One of the most successful prisoner uprisings occurred at Sobibor in October 1943. Located near Lublin, Sobibor was one of 3 extermination camps created for Operation Reinhardt. By late summer of 1943, the transports to Sobibor had slowed down, and the Jewish men whose job it was to dispose of the dead bodies, known as Sonderkommandos, knew their time to be murdered would soon come. Leon Feldhandler, in his 30s and a former Judenrat leader from Zolkiewka who had been at Sobibor for a year, had been seeking a way for all 600 of his fellow Sonderkommandos to escape at one time. After a group of Soviet prisoners of war arrived, 80 of these former soldiers were sent to do a large construction job in lieu of being immediately gassed to death. Feldhandler's hopes for success were revived when he met Lieutenant Alexander Pechersky, one of the prisoners of war assigned to the construction detail and who was also Jewish. Strong, intelligent, defiant, and with military leadership skills, Sasha Pechersky was the perfect co-leader with whom Feldhandler could devise an escape plan which had at least a minimum chance of working. Pechersky was told about a tunnel which had already been started, but he decided against such a route and devised a daring plan to break out of the camp through the main gate. As part of his plan, he had men in various workshops make weapons such as axes, hatchets, razors, and knives, which would be used to kill SS officers or guards when they came one at a time to the workshops by appointment to pick up an item such as new boots, an expensive winter coat taken from a dead prisoner, an altered uniform, and other such items. Pechersky and Feldhandler were counting heavily on the Germanic characteristic of punctuality, and that military personnel rarely varied from their normal daily routine. The operation would begin at 4 p.m., which was an hour and a half before the roll call taken by the guards at the main gate. Along with the weapons they would take from the Germans who would be killed in the workshops, they were expecting 3 other factors to work in their favor. Number 1. He knew that the camp commandant and both his second and third in command officers would be gone on leave, which meant that the remaining SS guards would most likely turn over the evening roll call responsibilities to the Ukrainian guards, which they had done before. Number 2. It was common knowledge that the Germans never trusted the Ukrainians, most of whom were ethnic militia with no formal military training, and only supplied them with 3 or 4 bullets each. Number 3. Based on Pechersky's military experience, he knew that the Ukrainians were at least smart enough to know that after they ran out of ammunition trying to stop the escape, there would be hundreds of angry prisoners still alive who would quickly kill them. With the 3 top officers gone, they selected Wednesday the 13th of October for the escape, but an unexpected squad of SS men arrived that day, forcing them to wait until the 14th, when these soldiers would be gone. A famous cliché from war says that no military plan survives the first contact with the enemy, and this was certainly true regarding Pechersky's and Feldhandler's daring escape plan. The killing of soldiers and officers in the workshop was going fairly well on the 14th, but this changed when a non-commissioned officer named Beckman entered alone to pick up a special coat, then suddenly left. 3 prisoners followed him into his office and stabbed him to death, but out of fear of being caught, they rushed out and left his bloody body behind a desk. This event altered everything that followed and cost many prisoners their lives. Because of the need for secrecy, the vast majority of the prisoners had no knowledge at all of the escape plan, which was a calculated risk that the leaders felt was worth it. At 5:10 p.m., with all of the prisoners loosely lined up near the main gate, Lieutenant Pechersky had the whistle blown 20 minutes early, surprising nearly everyone. Stepping out from the group, he passionately exhorted them that the day had come for them to die with honor, then shouted, "And if any of you survive, tell the world what happened here." At the same time, a Ukrainian guard had just found the body of Beckman and came running out screaming that a German was dead. Within seconds, bullets were flying in all directions as some SS soldiers suddenly appeared and began firing their weapons into the group. Surprisingly, hundreds of the prisoners managed to crash through the fences, although some were blown to pieces at the minefields surrounding the camp. Records indicate that around 300 prisoners, including some women, actually made it through the minefields and disappeared into the nearby forest, but all those who remained in the camp were executed. Approximately 100 of the escapees were quickly tracked down and killed, but anywhere from 50 to 70 of them survived the war, including Paczerski and Feldhendler. Though this number seems insignificant when considering how many millions of Jews died at the hands of the Nazis, their triumphant story inspired many more Jewish prisoners to die fighting rather than meekly allowing themselves to be murdered.